We're going to be starting on Frost. It's a big old map here, spawning in the bottom. Let's see what he can throw out for us here. In red from is MattTheKat. And his opponent in the top left. In pink from Lucky 13, our Zerg player is KOali. Alrighty, so Matt was trying to go macro there, but he was not allowed. Just as KOali was trying to go macro in the 2 games that he got 2-gated, and it wasn't allowed. So, we're going to see what happens here. Matt is going to put down a pylon again, wanting to go for that quicker expansion. This time, I assume he's going to go scout. Yeah, he's going to go scout. Problem being, this is a huge map. It's going to be difficult to actually find KOali here. Yeah, again, I really think this is the incorrect way to do the extractor trick. Someone can correct me if they're wrong, but this is not the way you ever see it done. Because now he's supply blocked for a very, very long time. Meanwhile, these two lobbers should be turning into drones. And yeah, so it kind of puts you behind a little bit, I guess, doing the extractor trick that way compared to doing it the I guess the more normal way. But it's something he's probably learned at some point, and it's probably true, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we'll leave it at that. That's it. It looks funky to me. Thankfully, it looks like we're going to see an actual macro game for a little while at least. The Forge was the first choice here for MattTheKat, so he does have the option to do some sort of cannon rushing. In the one game we had where he did go for this Forge first, he did not end up cannon rushing. But it is still a possibility. KOali still also has the option to go for like a 3-hatch game. He hasn't put down a pool just yet. He is already up all the way to 16 supply. There we go. There's going to be the pool. Okay. I think it is a big enough map to go for that kind of a 3-hatch playstyle. But it doesn't look like he's going to be doing that just yet. And also, this is an interesting map for cannons as well. You've seen a lot of times Protoss will wander on over, build a pylon or 2. You just need 1 or 2 pylons. Kind of wall yourself in up here, build a cannon, and then start cannon rush with a second probe down at this location and completely just block your opponent in. It's extremely annoying to deal with. But KOali and Matt do pass each other's drones. Let's see what happens from here. The Forge is finished. There is the opportunity to do this kind of cannon rushing game, but I don't think Matt is going to be bothering with that, at least for the time being. One cannon coming down. One cannon coming down here, the natural here for Matt. So he's gonna be staying nice and safe. Even though this was a hatch first, it wasn't like a pool first with a bunch of gas or anything. Actually, drone is being a baller. He's gonna go attack and try to kill this probe. I don't think he's gonna be able to get into that. I think he maybe wanted to try to build an extractor. That's not gonna happen. Matt takes both of his gases at the same exact time. And now this drone is running for its life. It needs to find a way to get out of there. The cannon down at the naturals will keep it from actually getting out for sure. But he's probably going to be annoying for as long as he possibly can. Meanwhile, no third base down just yet here for KOali, excuse me. No gases either. So he is still gases, so I imagine he would go for a third base pretty soon. As I say that, he is rallying out a drone over to that third base location. So he will be taking this third. Nice, heavy macro game is incoming. Alright, Cyber Core on the way. The wall has been finished here for MattTheKat. First solid on the way. It's going to be, it will sit there in front of this little area. Make sure that no lings are going to sneak on through. It's always depressing when you lose a game because your wall isn't tight enough. I'm glad to see that Matt has this probe out on the map still. He's going to be able to go over and confirm or deny the location of this third base. And even actually, he may be able to just proxy at least one pylon over here, and he's going for the Stargate play. We saw that in the first game that he played against KOali, going for the Stargate and then also trying to warp in some ground units and go after the third at the same time. The Stargate is in an interesting location. It's going to be, like, if any Ling does happen to walk up on in here, it's going to be able to find it out. As I say that, he didn't quite dance up where he needs to dance up. He could go see that Stargate is there and confirm that and start throwing down those spore crawlers if he wanted to. For now, KOali, he's added on 3 gases so far. He's adding in that Roach Warren. No lair on the way just yet. He's definitely going to want to confirm what Matt is doing before he starts really choosing his tech path and really committing resources, whether they be to units or to tech. Yeah, there's once again going to be Phoenix here from Matt. There are a lot of, actually, this is a lot of Overlords that are going to be probably killed here. At least two, pretty easily. There's a third one over at the right that'll take a little while for Matt to actually sniff out. But still, those are Overlords that are there, free for the taking. And this time, it's going to be a little bit longer before this is seen. However, he is moving out immediately with this Phoenix, and he's going to immediately start getting some Overlords, which is nice. He could have waited for a couple more, wait for the two, go kill this Overlord a little bit faster, and then get over to the main, or this main area, pick up a couple drones, kill those as well as these Overlords, rather than just getting the Overlords alone. So just getting a little bit antsy. So now KOali doing what he did in that first game, adding in a bunch of Spore Crawlers, only one at each base this time rather than the two at each base, saving a little bit more on his mineral count, which is nice to see. His lair is about to finish up here. He's able to get to that roach speed and hydras if he wants to just use hydras to defend against that. Now there's actually a good amount of roaches on the field and not too much in the way of defense back home for Matt. He's actually got a Void Ray queued up after this third Phoenix gets done. The Mothership Core is out in front, going to be able to spot everything, but the Mothership Core was made very, very late. It doesn't even have enough energy for an overcharge right now, which is going to be kind of a big issue. Matt's going to have to rely on these lone 2 sentries to deal with these roaches here. The force field the roaches out, keep them out, and the roaches can probably snipe off the cannon, snipe off the forge if they wanted to, but it's not going to be the case. Matt is actually warping in some cells over here, going for this third base location. All there is a bunch of drones and a queen here at the moment. All the roaches are across the map, and as that, oh good, it's wonderfully done by Matt Good. He's going to pick up the queen, use the, there's the Spore Crawler, there's the problem. He's going to lose the Phoenix to the Spore Crawler while he's killing the queen. And actually, the cells were derping around, trying to go for the queen, but they were stuck here on the Spore Crawler. One Phoenix did die, another one is almost dead. Starting to lose some of these workers, which is nice for Matt's case here. He's killed 9 workers, which is nice. Now the roaches are over here to defend, however. So he's able to push this away eventually. But that was a nice little attack there by MattTheKat. Did he even kill? I think he killed a queen, didn't he? Yeah, he killed the queen as well. So he picked up 2 roaches so far, as well as that queen. And he's also killed 10 drones off, which is very, very nice. This time, KOali being a little bit better. Oh, good lord, I have so many things going on right now. KOali being better about scouting out where that proxy pylon is. He's going to catch that very, very quickly. Make sure no more of those shenanigans are going to happen right now. Spire finishing up here in the natural for KOali. So I'm curious if he'll go for Corruptors again, or if he's going to go for mutas this time. He could go either route and probably justify it in some way. Mutas will be kind of scary to do simply because there's the possibility of Chrono Phoenix over and over and over, and adding on another Stargate and just ramping up that Phoenix count. So more likely for Corruptors, yes. He is adding on 5 Corruptors there. Getting 1/1 for his ranged as well. Where is the Hydrogen? Is the Hydrogen done yet? I can't remember. It doesn't look like it's done. No, Hydrogen is not finished just yet. No Hydrogen on the field. So if you're relying on Roaches and Corruptors, it seems, for a while. Colossus are already going to be started in production here. Actually, as I say, that's still an Immortal in production. No third base just yet. Zealot and a Pro moving out here to take care of making this third base. So Matt is looking to force this game to go a little bit longer here. Kind of relying on hopefully what he has left. But Phoenix is getting attacked by Corruptors here, not what they want to be doing. Corruptors just chew through those Phoenix so quickly. And that is now the 3rd Phoenix that Matt has lost, which is definitely putting a dent in his morale for those air units. Switching a little bit into Void Rays. Corruptors don't really like the Void Rays as much, given that the overcharge does a lot of damage to that massive armor of those Corruptors. One Spore Prism is over here into the natural. It's about to go there, but Corruptor spots it. Actually, it's been spotted, and now the Corruptors are coming over to take care of that. So Spore Prism wasn't going to do anything anyway, because there's a couple Spore Crawlers there waiting. Now the rest of the Corruptors are going to run directly into that Spore Prism. Goodbye, War Prism. So sad, so sad. Matt finally getting that third base started, at least going on for that Twilight Council as well, so he can start getting some more upgrades beyond just the +1 attack that he has at the moment. And he's also he's pretty low on income right now. He doesn't really have too much in the way of that. He's got a very kind of a small army right now. It's not really too much to it. That's a very big scary army coming across the map for KOali. This third base is gonna have to be canceled, as well as all these 2 gateways here, and he should probably just cancel the cannon as well. He's gonna maybe try and come defend this with what he has, but no, he's definitely gonna cancel that. The chance he could try to snipe off some of these Corruptors at least. There are actually some meterless with it as well. That was a mistake. Force Field's behind all the Roaches, not even splitting them up or trying to do something like that. Void Ray overcharges, and more units are streaming across the map here for both players, but first Colossus is going to join. Most of the ground army has died off here for KOali, and now he's just losing all of his Corruptors as well. This go-around, Matt has a lot more in terms of anti-air, so he's going to kill off some of these Corruptors, kills off one more Corruptor, see if he gets another one or not. I don't believe he has Blink. He does not have Blink just yet. He's killed one more Corruptor, so 4 Corruptors do go down, but both players losing a whole lot there. The resources lost tab is just about dead even right now. However, just that income tab is so vastly in favor of KOali right now. He's got this 3rd base up and running. He's had it up and running for a very long time. 4th base is done as well. Even a 5th hatchery is going to be coming in. So he's going to be ramping up that economy pretty well. Meanwhile, MattTheKat is just still trying to secure this 3rd base. Once again, we're looking at a lot of Colossus trying to get on the field, but the Corruptor count, nice job keeping that Colossus count down pretty low for the time being. These engagements that kind of happen where both players are just trading out a lot of units, but not able to kill each other, which is not really much of a surprise. Neither player really able to commit too much to this. 1-1 is finished up for our Zerg player. He's got +2 attack, just about to finish up. Carapace will be following that a little bit behind. He actually has +2 for his air attack on the way as well, compared to just +1/+1 finished for MattTheKat. No other upgrades have been started just yet, and still adding in Phoenix right now. He's only got the 2, and he's just so low on gas, given how late this base was able to actually be secured. His gas count is super low, and he's kind of just unable to actually make much. 187 supply right now to 129. That's got to be scary for MattTheKat. Looking at this from a third person's perspective, being down this much supply at this point of the game, I understand Protoss are going to be down in supply often. This is how Protoss works. But be down this much at 18, 17 minutes, it's kind of scary. He needs to start really ramping up that production. He's been working so hard at his tech, but still not really too much of an infrastructure there. He does have a Dark Shard on the way, but once again, there's kind of overlapping tech paths. There's already Spore Callers at every base, static defense coming in at these auxiliary bases as well. And actually, this engagement might happen out in the middle of the map, which would be wonderful for MattTheKat if he can let it happen. He's got to be okay with this. There's not very many Corruptors here, only the 3, and he can force field a ton if he wants to. He's trying to get back up onto the high ground, force fielding off nicely there, but unable to catch too much of that army there. So KOali's going to turn around and go back home, so he can't attack up this choke here of this ramp, and there's no reason for MattTheKat to go down there and try to fight out in open ground. Both players being very wise with their decisions in regards to where they attack and how they attack. No reason to lose a game just because you get a little too antsy and try to attack into something you cannot beat. 2 Colossus on the field so far for MattTheKat. He doesn't have any proxy pylons anywhere, I do not believe. And I don't see any proxy pylons. It's going to be kind of difficult for him to deal with doing some harassment damage, but luckily for him, this natural base location is pretty close to this base. All there is this single Spore Crawler over here. Sadly, there's not too many drones in that location, but that may not matter because KOali trying to zone out this army with the Corruptors. He's going to move into the 3rd base location. He's actually going to snipe that off pretty easily, probably, but that's a really big wall that Matt sets up. Matt sets up these huge walls at his 3rd base. Really difficult to break through, so well done by him there. He's going to keep himself nice and safe and tucked in back here. Even adding the overcharge, adding a couple DTs are going to be used for Archons, which is very smart. So even though he's not able to harass with those, he uses a lot less gas, and he's really low on gas right now. He wants to have some Archons, but he doesn't want to have to use too much gas on it. Once again, Corruptors trying to position themselves in a nice spot, and now KOali's army is actually into the main natural, but this may be an actually humongous mistake. He's going to kill a lot. Corruptors are going to come back and take out these Colossus, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do too much. He can, MattTheKat's going to force field off if he can. Some decent force fields. Now he can focus on these Corruptors alone. Yes, the Colossus are dead. Yes, all the air is going to be dead, but now he's going to have to deal with the ground army. And overcharge going down the natural as well. Both players just dropping heavily in supply, but most of the supply drop is coming out of KOali. He's actually, that's why, he is switching into Swarm Host. 15 Swarm Hosts are on the way. All those Colossus are dead, and if MattTheKat doesn't realize that Swarmhosts are going to be the issue with 0 Colossus. However, I think he realizes it's gotta be an issue. It's gotta be an issue, right? This is PvZ. PvZ and HOTS, it's gotta be Swarmhost. 2 Robo Facilities, double Colossus production, and he's going to push across the map hopefully before the Swarm Hosts get out. We've got 15 Swarm Hosts are going to be popping out here momentarily. This push is real and it's big, and it's going to be painful as heck. There's a really good chance this base is going to die. Observer does get sniped off. There's pretty much no chance that Matt's going to be able to actually deal with these Swarm Hosts. He's going to have to actually force field off these the Locusts if he can, because he's going to be caught out in the middle of nothing with all these Locusts, just free units attacking everything. Not at all what he wants to be happening right now. Couple DTs trying to find their way over to these other bases. They should stay out of range of the vision of this Spore Crawler, which is nice. But there is a Spore Crawler. There is actually nothing else left over at this base, however. Only the Spore Crawler to defend. Absolutely nothing else over here. And the Infestation Pit's over here. If he's able to get in, kill the Spore Crawler, kill the Infestation Pit, that's going to be a huge, huge blow. Is Hive finished? Yes, Hive is finished. Greater Spire is on the way as well. Both players just trying to mass up their armies at the moment. The Spore Crawler did not die nearly enough, fast enough. Matt has killed 17 workers so far in this game. He's finally going to get up to a 4th base, which is going to be nice for him. He definitely needs that gas. He needs to have gas soon. He needs it now. But that is so many Swarmers. That is 15 Swarmers. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. He does have the 1 Stargate. He's not adding on... Okay, there you go. He's adding on 2 more Stargates along with this. So buckle up, kids, because this looks like this may last for a little while. Basically, everything under the sun is being researched here by KOali. Getting pathogen glands, getting the melee... Okay, that was a mistake. Getting the +3 air attacks. Greater Spire is finished. Getting +1 Carapace for his flyer units. I think he has +2 at least for flyer attack. Yes, he has +2 for flyer attack already. He's going to be able to start making some Broodlords as well. And with the Swarm Host zoning out this entire army, the Broodlords can just get on top of everything. So the Stalkers aren't going to be able to really blink underneath the Broodlords necessarily. So this is going to be really difficult for Matt to actually engage into. He's got to kind of wait this out, get that Fleet Beacon up, get some Tempest out, and really start dealing with the army that his opponent has. It would also like to be very wise to get that Warp Prism speed, which he does not have just yet. Get a Warp Prism, start dropping or doing some harassment all around the map. This is going to be a very immobile and slow army. 15 Swarm Host. We have 2 Broodlords already, 2 more morphing in to join those 2. Actually, one of those is over here, just kidding. So 1 more Broodlord is coming in for this. Quality is quite maxed. He needs to get rid of some supply, which is... Okay, never mind. Those are just Locusts. He's getting rid of some supply. 1 DT hanging up at the top here. Another DT taking out a few workers over at this base. They're probably going to be able to kill this base off if he decides to go for it, but that DT is going to go chase down some of these drones. He's going to run into a ton of Spine Crawlers as well as this Spore Crawler if he does that. Actually, staying out of range of the Spore Crawler, just barely going to pick out some of these Spine Crawlers at least. There he goes. He does get killed pretty easily there. We've got a good amount of Phoenix out. Got some Void Rays joining this fight as well. Only 4 Colossus, which is actually really scary, given how many Swarm Hosts there actually are in this game. 15 Swarm Hosts, only 4 Colossus. Matt's gonna have to rely on his mobility to actually win this game if he wants to, because this is a very entrenched Zerg player at the moment. Matt is starting to take some more bases across the map, but it's going to be difficult for him to actually really push into this army unless he gets in on top of everything he wants to get on top of before it is noticed. KOali has to realize this is happening. You can see that army there. He needs to reposition these Swarmers. He's repositioned all of his army as well. All he has is really his Hydras with these Broodlords. This base is dead immediately. That base dies so fast. We've got +3/+2 here for all of these Protoss units. Killing our base was nice. That works out pretty well. Another base is going to go down over at the right side top part of the map here. And now it's kind of turning into an attrition thing. We've got 6 Broodlords. Still have the 15 Swarm Hosts. There's just so low support beyond those beefy units. He's starting to make a bunch of Spore Crawlers up front, which is nice. But Spore Crawlers, they don't do too much to all of these Stalkers and the Colossus as well. Matt needs to microback this 1 Colossus. He does save that one at least. Locusts are going to spawn out once again. I'm not sure where the observers are. There's 1 observer. Observer's going to get sniped off very easily. And that's a question of, does he have a vision? Does he have any? He has one observer left. He has one observer left. Where is the observer? It's somewhere around here because it won't let me go find it. Microing it back against this. Actually starting to add in Tempest here. 2 Tempests at a time, a Colossus at a time as well. This is getting into that stage of, oh crap, what do? I don't have to play this too often. Matt actually adding some cannons in over at the left side before he starts taking this base. I'm sure he's going to want to take that base eventually, but it's going to be very difficult to take. This is where KOali is entrenched. This is going to be a bit rough here to deal with. That's a lot of spore crawlers. It's going to be really hard for Matt to get in on top of that and actually do anything with an observer, actually see anything. And maybe, I don't know if oracles have a better vision range than observers. I'm not really sure with their vision, if he wanted to go that route. But he is getting the Tempest up, so he will be eventually able to pick away at the spore crawlers. But look at this. More and more spore crawlers are being made right now. What do we have? Well, a lot of these are back at the base, but 15 spore crawlers so far are already on the map. He's got 4 in production, another 4 in production beyond that. So we're going to be to 23 spore crawlers, most of which should be over here. Yeah, that's 16 spore crawlers around your main army. That's all KOali really cares about right now. It's just protecting this army, spreading a bunch of creep. He's doing that very nicely, using these queens now. He doesn't really need to use it for the larva, because he has 88 larvae right now. That's going to take a while to chew through that larva. So using his queens to spread creep all the way across the map, very, very nice. Putting Matt in this very, very defensive position that's really hard to break out of. When you start trading free units for, these high, heavy gas units, it's really, really rough. Excuse me as I take a drink, but talking alone for yourself for 30 minutes at a time is sometimes a little bit rough. Locusts are starting to get on top of this ramp here, which is going to start getting a little bit scary here for our Protoss player. Slowly but surely, KOali has been creeping forward with all of this. These spore crawlers are absolutely ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's 20 spore crawlers so far. He's still adding more. Adds up to 24 spore crawlers now. And still, he's just trading away some more units. He's got roaches actually harassing this base on this side, and there's no army over here. Matt really needed to have a bunch of cannons at his auxiliary base. It's the same way as Zerg has all these spine crawlers at this base. You need to have a bunch of cannons. Luckily this. That's all I can say about that. There is a mothership now, which is very nice. There's not too many overseers. I'm not sure where the overseers even are right now. There are 2 of them. They are in random spots on the map. One base does go down. Some DTs got warped in and take care of these roaches, so that's nice. But now, Locusts are starting to pick away at this forge. It's actually getting +2 for the shields. +2 air weapons is on the way as well, this is getting pretty ridiculous here. And now, actually, Matt is going to start pushing out against all of these spore crawlers here. This is a huge engagement. Both players saying this is the time to go, I suppose. Everything is cloaked, but there's so many spore crawlers. Everything is still in vision. That mothership is not really doing that much. There's way too many spore crawlers here to deal with this. MattTheKat just lost all of his army. That's looking a little upsetting. 192 supply to 112 now in favor of our Zerg player. 159 army supply to 66. He does still have this mothership core. There's nothing. Okay, there's the Hydras. Hydras are going to take out the mothership now. When Hydras kill a mothership, that's probably a bad sign. He still retains, well, he retains all of these swarm hosts. He still retains all 15 swarm hosts. He's got the 6 broodlords as well. Now it's just these few Hydras and queens taking care of that last Tempest. And now what the heck do you do if you're MattTheKat? I'm not certain. He's in a rough spot. Warped in 3 Archons, which is nice. He's got 3 Void Rays as well, but KOali is just choking Matt out at this point. It's just kind of one of those matter of time situations where Matt is probably never going to get the amount of gas he needs to fend off what is coming at him. Oh, good lord, Colossus. This is the second time this has happened for Matt. Loses 1 Colossus for absolutely no reason. A little bit of a miss rally there for that. DT's trying to get on top of a bunch of spore crawlers. Not going to work out too well. Those die off. It's another amount of gas a bit wasted there. Archon's firing from the high ground, which is nice, I guess. But this Colossus, everything is just kind of stuck at this main base, and so little income, so little production coming down from MattTheKat. Only at 500 minerals a minute. That's a bit rough there. Units killed in this game is pretty funny. It's pretty even on both sides. The resources lost, however, is so vastly in favor of our Zerg player right now. Just look at everything that was lost there for the Protoss. That fills up the entire rectangular box. I've actually never seen that. That is so many individual types of units that have been lost in this game. Losing that mothership, as well as a mothership core earlier on in the game, just adds to the pain of this. Matt still does have this base over here that is mining happily, but he's got 31 workers. Well, there's where those workers are coming from. He's going to have this singular base here and basically no money to deal with it. Swarm hosts are getting on top of absolutely everything here, and even the Ultra Cavern is being made back home by KOali. I think he actually has +3 for the melee attack. Only has +2 for his melee attack. He's got +3 Carapace though, +3 everything else. +3, +3, +1 on the shields for our Protoss player here. He even has +3 attack for his air, but still not going to do too much. Another Nexus is about to go down. This looks like it would be probably the last rally to kill this Nexus, and then he's going to start going further in and start going for the bases that really do matter. All of this infrastructure is going to go down eventually. So we had 2 games that were under 10 minutes in this series alone. There was a 2-gate in the prior series between these two, and now we end up with a 35+ minute Swarm Host Broodlord game for the final match of this series. It's definitely going to be going in favor of our Zerg player here. 191 supply to 99. MattTheKat trying to do what he can. He knows this is his lifeline. Actually, some Vipers even yanking those Colossus. The rest of those are done now. One more does survive, which is okay. I'm going to survive for a moment, but it's gone now. Voiders have recharged. They did what they can, but luckily Swarm Host, Locusts don't shoot up. That's nice. That was a nice design choice. Thanks, Blizz. Not letting them shoot up. So despite Matt actually remaking some bases, and actually KOali hasn't made a base in a really long time, but he's kept his money really low because he keeps making Spore Crawlers. 27 Spore Crawlers, 22 Spine Crawlers on the map. Everything being yanked into those Spore Crawlers. The last few Voiders are going down here. This looks to be kind of the death now, and there we go. GG from MattTheKat. KOali is going to be our 2nd place finisher of Group H of the Dogecoin tournaments.